Hello, podcasters. My name is Larry Hawkins. Today is the first episode of Debrief Room, true stories of death investigators. Lot to cover throughout episodes that we're going to have. What qualifies me to do this video and to have this podcast? I want to go through a little bit of that with you guys. I'm a 32-year veteran police officer. 8 of that, actually almost 9 of it, I spent as an investigator. And there's different elements of investigators. You have investigators for persons crimes, you have property crimes, and you have special crimes. I was in person crimes for several years. We worked everything from sexual assaults, simple assaults, aggravated assaults, bank robberies, kidnappings, homicides, of course. And then, of course, my forte was working cold cases. I retired December of 2024. I was part of a cold case unit local where I live in the Galveston area. Had a lot of active cases still going on when we retired. But it was time to go. So I'm trying to focus my efforts now on highlighting other detectives, investigators that have done the same type of work that I've done, and give them a little bit of recognition for the cases they're working, because these cases are very complex. They take up a lot of your time. A lot of guys like myself during my highlight of my cases took a lot of cases home and kept reading on them and trying to figure them out while we were at home. A lot of hours into them, a lot of interviews that go bad. We've all had bad interviews. We've had good interviews. Interviews that people will give you information that they don't really even know anything, but you have to follow it and eliminate it from a possibility. So there's a lot involved, and you interview people that have no clue about the actual crime that happened. But again, you have to eliminate that from the process. And then when you finally get to the people that do know something, most of the time they'll either get an attorney or they have selective memory. A lot of hard work goes into these cases, and it's an honor to be able to sit with some of these detectives that have really gone above and beyond to figure out some of these cases, especially the cold cases. Sometimes they sit there 20 or 30 years. And in some of the cases I had, you just have DNA sitting there waiting to be used. You have a witness that came around that never came around before. You recanvass the area. You check for anything that might not have been checked before. And sometimes you check things that have been done several times. But in the cases that I've had, a lot of hard work went in, and it was a team effort every time. It's never just one detective that figures these cases out. You solve one piece of the puzzle, then you talk to someone else that's investigating with you, and they solve another piece. And in the long run, you put the information together, and you figure out who did it, where they did it, and you start doing a lot of research to family members, friends at the time. There's cases that we worked that were 32 years old and we solved them, but a lot of the people that were involved were deceased as far as witnesses or persons of interest. But in the long run, when you find out exactly what you've been looking for and talk to the right people and you solve a case, there's probably not a better feeling in the world than to solve these cases. My plans today is starting today with this being episode 1, is to interview these detectives and get their stories. Now, some people that are watching these, they like to sit and figure out these cases themselves, but we are taking a different topic. These are cases that have already been solved, because a lot of times the agencies will not release the information on these cases if they're still open active. But once they're closed and finalized, it's public record for the most part. Some of the information we will change just to not embarrass family members or people that do not want any further information to be put out there that involves their family. We're going to try to respect that. But in the long run, we're going to do our best to entertain you guys with a lot of good information for cases that were maybe in your area, cases that were publicized on the national level, but never the local level, and sometimes vice versa. Some of these cases will kind of blow your mind. The things that have happened, the things that made someone kill someone, the information that was hidden, the reasons they were hidden. So it's going to be interesting to get this out, and I hope you guys will be entertained. And if you realize I'm kind of all over the place, this is my first one. I'm a little nervous, but I'll get used to it. It's different talking to the camera versus sitting here interviewing someone and having questions that I can ask them and information that they can feed back to me. So we'll get this off the ground. I hope to have one posted by the end of next week. My first interview will be Tommy Hansen. He's a retired cold case investigator, lieutenant from Galveston County Sheriff's Office. And he has 50 plus years as a peace officer. And majority of those years, he was an investigator. He's worked a lot of great cases, and I look forward to interviewing him for you guys. You guys have a good evening, and we'll talk soon. Thank you.